Hey, Reb here, Rebecca. Just not Becky. Never, ever, ever Becky. And Albert, look. He's wearing a hat. Papi doesn't want to come over. We did this a second ago, and he was here, and he jumped off, and he went, and he licked his butt for so long, and so deep, and then moved on to his wiener. And then he got up, and he was like walking real weird. Like, I think he licked himself silly, and I shamed him a little bit, and now he won't come over by me. Wiener butt lick shaming is real. Yeah. All right. So you know I have dogs. You've met them a couple times. I think you may have noticed I have dogs. Oh my God, he's so weird. But I also have a couple of other pets. Several other pets. You've seen a couple of them, I think, briefly. But I thought it was time to formally meet them. Because I'm a very formal girl, as you can tell, because I'm dressed very formally. This is my, oh my God, it's freaking freezing look, because yesterday, as I am out patrolling the dangerous grounds of the university, it was 11 degrees below zero all day long. I think the highest it got up to was -9 by the time I went home. And the wind chill, I don't know what that was. Today it was warmer, but still, oh my God, cold. So yeah, this is, you get what you get. You don't throw a fit, right? Okay. So let's meet my other animals, and they can pick their favorite pets. No, they can pick their favorite plants for you. How about that? So there is a whole video about the dog's rescue stories, so you can dig around and find that, or I'll link that. You know how people do. Hey, now Papi wants to say hi. Don't kiss me. I know where that tongue's been, and it's disgusting. I'll forget all about it in a little while, and you can kiss me then. It's amazing how that happens. Let's just say you saw someone licking their butthole, tongue so far deep up in there for a long time, like all up in there, right? And then moved on and was licking their junk. Would you then, moments, hours later, let them come up and lick your face? I don't think you would. Yet, we let our dogs do it every day. Why is that? Okay, let's get on with this. You can learn more about their actual stories, much more in depth, in a separate video. So we'll focus on my other pets. But, yeah, enough about butt and ball licking. I'll go get one. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back with my very handsome Sherbet. Well, we call him Sherbert. Does anyone really say Sherbet? I don't. Okay, so Sherbert is my leopard gecko. Oh my. How handsome is this little guy? He's been chattering because he doesn't want to be out for. Did you hear it? Talk again. I want him to scream again. Okay. Anyway, so that is this handsome. I forgot to put my mic on, so I hope the camera mic is picking up the sound. Oh, why did I forget my mic? Okay, so Sherbet, trying to say it, Sherbet. Oh, he's talking up a storm. talk over here by the microphone. Okay, so Sherbert. Sherbert is not happy about being out right now. I woke him up. Sherbert is around 1.5 years old, and he is extraordinarily sweet. He's very chunky and very happy, and he loves to sleep. He slowly meanders from one spot to the next to take a new nap, find another warm spot to lay and enjoy the nice warm belly. He has another pretty amazing enclosure, much larger than what most people keep them in. He has it's the equivalent of a 40-gallon Exoterra front opening enclosure, and it has tons of things to climb on and hide under. They always need a moist hide, dry hides, so he has those. He's pretty much got it made. Leopard geckos are carnivores. They only eat bugs, so they're very easy to feed and cheap. They don't need UV light because they're diurnal. They only come out in the morning and evening, like dawn and dusk. So technically they're not out during the sunshine, so some people say they don't need UV light, some people do. So there are times where I have one that I will use, and then other times where I don't. The fun thing about them is watching them shed, because they tear it off and eat it while they're tearing off their dead skin in one huge piece, and it's pretty spectacular to see. It's like one big skin peel. And we got Sherbert at a really, really nice, reputable pet store down in Madison. Yeah. And a cool thing about leopard geckos is that their markings completely change from the time they're babies to adulthood. So he looked entirely different when he was a baby, and I had no idea what he was going to look like when he grew up. And his favorite plant is this very sad looking Fittonia. Oh, sorry. I bonked him. Now he's really mad. Sorry. This sad looking Fittonia. Did you see how bad it needs to be watered? I'm sorry, buddy. I'll show you a whole bunch of footage of Sherbert. I'm gonna go put him back so he can get over this whole experience. So, first up in my little dinosaur segment is going to be Rainbow. Rainbow, her favorite plant, I should say, is this big, beautiful rescue Schefflera that's behind me. I'm not going to go too much into the plants because I think I'm going to do a rescue plant video where I talk about all my different rescue plants, and this is one of them, one of the big success stories, and it needs water. So I will not talk too much about that, but that is her favorite plant, and you will see why later on, because I will be inserting lots of video of them in their little action-packed glory. But for now, let's just introduce you to Rainbow, my bearded dragon. I'm going to do a little bit of the let go. Nicole from My Clean Leaves hand action here to get you some rainbow beauty shots here. Oh, why is it not working? Oh, there we go. Look at me learning how to do this. It's Rainbow. And I will give you some good footage of her. She is the sweetest little girl. She used to be extremely lazy, but that was because she was obese. And now that she went on a veterinarian ordered diet and lost weight, she's now quite hyper. In the past, I would have put her on my shoulder and she would have just sat there the entire time we spoke. Now she is going to try to jump off of me into the plant and off and run about the place. But she is a little over 2 years old. She's actually Libby's. I gave her to Libby for her 15th birthday. Well, I gave her the setup and then Libby picked her out on her own. But she has it made in the shade. She's had a couple of tank upgrades. She had them quickly as she grew, but she is now in a massive Carolina custom cages front opening enclosure that is decked out with tons of stuff to climb on and under and bask on and enjoy. She has way more space than is required, which as should be. And bearded dragons need a lot of UV light and heat. She has both. She has a lot more natural sunlight from the UV bulbs than either my plants or me or my girls are getting at any time this winter, that's for sure. So she's a little sun queen. And let's see, what else? Rainbow. She's an omnivore. She eats bugs, primarily superworms, because she is a superworm lover. And she's supposed to eat a whole bunch of greens, dark leafy, healthy greens like dandelion and mustard greens, turnip greens. However, it's really hard to get her to eat them, even when we starve her out for weeks. Okay. Oh, and unfortunately, she was our first reptile, and I made a horrible mistake before I knew any better and got her from PetSmart. Please don't go buy reptiles from PetSmart or other chain stores. Number one, your reptiles may not be healthy, and number two, they probably didn't come into the world in the best way. I have gotten very, very lucky with her, though. Okay, I will show you lots of footage of this sweetheart. All right, you are in for a treat because I have brought out Kevin. Kevin is my crested gecko, and she is a girl, and she is named Kevin because she looks exactly like Kevin from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Kevin is Captain Raymond Holt's husband. I'm sure I'll insert a picture. It's in the eyes. Can you see it? Hi. So crested geckos are the ones that have the sticky feet. They can climb straight up and down anything, pretty much. So basically, you gonna jump? If I can show you, she's just gonna, you can jump? Oh, I don't know if if I was high enough to show you. Let's see. Can you do it again? Jump. Jump. You're just gonna climb? Jump. What's cuter than that? You're so cute. Uh-oh, where are you going to now? No, don't go over there. I'll never catch you. Oh no. Good loser. Oh, I got her. Hi. She just makes me giggle. Yes, you make me giggle. How can this not make you giggle? Something super cool about crested geckos is that their tails are semi-prehensile. So they can hang on with their tails. They're a little sticky at the end, just like their feet. So she's hanging on with that tail. Yeah. They're amazing. So crested geckos are neat. They're extraordinarily easy pets and inexpensive to keep because they are, for the most part, they're kept as vegetarian. Most people don't give them bugs. Some people will give them like one mealworm a week or every other week. Most people don't typically. And they're fed just a little powder that you add water to and stir up and give it to them. And you don't have to provide any heat or any UV light, anything like that. They just live at room temperature, given that you have a normal room temperature, and they don't require any light. They're nocturnal. So unless you're a night owl, you don't get to see them playing around much. That's the only bummer about them. So I'm surprised she's being this active while I've got her out. Although it is nighttime while I'm filming. The one bummer about getting them out to play with, they are cold to the touch. And you get them out and you feel like, oh my gosh, they're so cold. So your hands feel very, very warm to them. And between you being very warm and it being a defense mechanism, every single time you hold them, they will pee and poop on you. So she already got that done before I started filming. So now we're safe. Yeah. Okay, I guess we've spent enough time with Kevin. But I think you'd enjoy her, and I certainly do. I'll give you another good look. Okay, so we've got one pet that I'm not going to get out because she is not handleable. Yeah, she's too fast and jumpy, and if she got out, it would be bad. It's Juliet. Isn't that a sweet name? Yeah. She's messed up her tank. I just cleaned her enclosure, and she has already made a nasty mess of it. But there she is. Aww. Did you see her? She is my pink-toed tarantula. Some of you may not think she's very cool, but she is. I don't handle her. Some tarantula varieties, species, some types of tarantulas are very handleable because they're slow moving and docile and easygoing, and you can raise them from when they're really little and, you know, what have you. Juliet is very jumpy, and pink-toed tarantulas are very speedy. So if she got spooked, she would way too fast. So I don't get her out and hold her. She is more like just having a nature show in my living room. She's really fun to watch, and she's just really cool. So she hangs out in here, and I wish that she hadn't made a huge mess of the spot right where she happens to be sitting. But I will get some really good footage so you can see her better. Although I know a lot of you probably don't really want to see her. Her favorite plant is the pothos that lives in with her. Shall we move on from Juliet? I have a feeling you'd like me to move on from Juliet. Okay, we'll move on. I'll put her down. Now, moving on. Nikolai, my Russian tortoise. Unfortunately, I can't get Nikolai out because Nikolai is brumating. He's in brumation. That means he's hibernating. And unfortunately, oh, I forgot to talk about what Juliet eats. Juliet eats crickets. I give her a handful of crickets every couple of weeks and she is good to go. And I spray her enclosure down with water and she drinks the droplets off of the glass, and it's actually really cool to watch. And I don't need to provide any other light or heat or anything like that for her. She's very, very easy. For those of you who might be interested, you can always ask me more questions. Okay, now for real, I'm done. Back to Nikolai, my Russian tortoise. He is incredible, but he's sleeping, and he's been sleeping for a really long time, and it sucks because I miss him, and it's stressful because I constantly am wondering, is he okay? Is he alive? Is he ever going to wake up? Does he need anything? Is he freezing to death? Is he alive? Did I mention, is he alive? Because I haven't seen him at all. I know where he is. He's way down deep into a hide where I can't see because it's built into the tortoise table that he has. So I can reach my hand back in there and I can touch him and I'll wiggle a toe and kind of pull on it until I can feel him move a little bit and I know he's alive. And also, he's not stiff or rotting. But they can brumate for months. Months. Like, some of them brumate for like 5 months. Bearded dragons do that too. Thank God Rainbow has not ever brumated. But it's killing me. This is my first winter with Nikolai, so I didn't know if he was going to do it or not. But he does do it. They don't eat, they don't drink, they don't poop, nothing. They just go and sleep for all of that time. So his heat lamp's not on. I'm not giving him food. I'm not giving him water. I mean, I have water in there in case he does wake up and want to drink, but that's it. I don't put food in there. I used to, but I stopped because it was really wasteful. I turned his lamp off. I used to keep it on, but that was wasteful. So I'm just going to insert a whole bunch of footage for you from back when he was awake. And yeah, so tortoises are vegetarians, strict vegetarians. They cannot digest proteins. So if I were to give him like one of Rainbow's mealworms or something, it would be very, very, very bad for him. Very bad for him. And they need UVB light like Rainbow does for their shell. All of the UV needs that they have is to help them absorb calcium basically and help them digest their food properly and all of that. So he has a big huge bulb that provides heat and UVB light. He also needs like some big slate rocks, like pieces of slate in his tortoise table that will provide a space for him to, number one, to eat off of and to bask on a nice warm surface, but also to trim his nails and his beak down. Otherwise, I have to do that for him. What else does he need? He eats fresh greens, lots of really good healthy ones, just like what Rainbow's supposed to eat. The good ones. They can't eat like kale and spinach because those will suck calcium away. They bind calcium. Isn't that interesting? So animals who need to eat greens shouldn't be eating kale and spinach because they will actually bind the calcium and suck it out of their body. And they need the calcium for their shell. Nikolai needs it for his shell, and obviously Rainbow needs calcium really bad too. So when you have a reptile, you need to be thinking seriously about calcium, UVB, and about specifically what foods to be feeding, and it's extremely important because it affects their lifespan and specific diseases you can get that are very, very dangerous and life-threatening and are specifically caused by their light sources and their diet. Yeah, like metabolic bone disease, which is a hideous disease, and it's caused directly by which foods you give them and which lights you give them. So having a reptile is a huge responsibility, much more the care that you provide them is much more detailed. If you don't get it right, if you don't get the husbandry right, it is much more impactful on the animal's health. Like the impact is much more it directly impacts the animal's health more than like a dog, a cat. Obviously those are impacted too, but the husbandry of your reptile impacts their health more directly, I would say. So if you're thinking of getting a reptile, please, please, please do months of research before you get a reptile or an arachnid. Okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed meeting all of my other pets, and I forgot to tell you some of their favorite plants, I think. Well, just Nikolai, but he's sleeping, so he doesn't really care. Anyway, let me know if you have any questions about any of them. I've done tons of research over the years about all of these types of reptiles and others, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have. And if I can't help, I can probably point you in the right direction. So I hope you have. Oh, hold on. Come here, Papi. Oh, you knocked the spider. Okay, so we hope you have a plantastic day. Albert says, bye. Oh no, Papi! Seriously? I went and got you specifically for this. Come back here, junk licker. Come back here. Come on. Come here. Come on. Come here. No, not sit. Come here. You have not... Come here. He's going to give you a whoa whether he likes it or not. If he's going to lick his butt and he's going to lick his junk, he's going to give you a whoa. If he expects a kiss from me with that dirty mouth. Papi says, whoa. We'll see you next time.